Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, wherever you're joining in from today. Welcome to another live session at the Reactor. My name is Rav, and I'm the program manager here at Reactor London. Before we get into the session, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We're all here to learn, so please be respectful, please be kind, ask a lot of good questions. The chat will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. We have an absolutely amazing session lined up for you today on Collection Coordinator Workspace using Copilot and Microsoft Dynamics. This session will be led by Saurabh. I just want to apologize in advance. There's some technical issue with Saurabh's camera, so he wouldn't be on camera, but otherwise he will be fully available to answer any questions. So with that, I'm now going to bring him up on to the stage and he will take it from there. Hi, Saurabh.
Hey, Reb. Thank you so much. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the session. So let me quickly start with my uh, introduction. So I'm going to talk about the collection coordinator workspace using Copilot in Microsoft Dynamics 365. So I'm not going to limit today on this, but I'm also going to cover some bit of what Copilot and AI features we have in Dynamics 365. So it's more than this. Quickly about me, my name is Saurabh Bharti. I'm MVP for AI ERP. I'm also MCT and Microsoft Certified Professional, over 10 years of experience. Uh, Here are my credentials. If you want to reach out to me, connect with me on my YouTube, LinkedIn, write an email for any queries and anything, feel free to do that. So without further delay, let's go through the agenda for today. So today we are going to talk about quickly the overview of what Copilot and AI capabilities we have in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. Then we will be talking about the required configurations and the prerequisites which we need to have for using these capabilities. And then we will talk about one of the use case which I have picked up, which is about collection coordinator workspace. And then we will go into the demo and see how Copilot helps us with this particular feature. And then we can have Q&A. So feel free to put your questions and I'm happy to answer those. Before I start, anything which I have used and which I will be talking about is available on Microsoft official Learn portal. So if you are looking for more information, I have put some links here, but you can go ahead and explore these topics, and the content is available at the Microsoft Learn portal. Okay, so let's start with this. So the first thing which I want to talk about before we jump to the uh, collection coordinator workspace feature is what are the capabilities which we have in Dynamics 365 for Copilot and AI. And I'm calling out both Copilot and AI. I know the Copilot is based on the AI itself, but I'm calling out both separately because there are different capabilities and the features which are available and which might be sometimes bit confusing for us when we look around and see that there are so many capabilities, so many co-pilots which are available, what it is for us in finance and operations. So today's session is completely focused on the finance and operations capabilities and the features which we have it. So if I quickly talk about the Copilot and AI capabilities which we have, we can categorize this into three different parts. Okay, so one is the Copilot ND65 FNO, Finance and Operations, Financial Insight in Finance and Operations. And I have intentionally put one more feature here, which is Copilot for Finance. So I know there are a lot of people who are still not clear that what is Copilot for Finance and what is Copilot in D365. Are these two things same or is it different? So these two are different capabilities which we have. Copilot for Finance is not part of Finance and Operation, though it is integrated with finance and operations, but it is an Excel, Microsoft Excel add-in, and the Outlook add-in which we have from Microsoft, for which helps the finance users to perform certain tasks in the analysis. Okay, so the Copilot for finance is completely different from Copilot in D365. So if you have to understand what is relevant within the finance and operations in D365, so you need to follow the word like Copilot in D365 finance and operations. Okay, so anywhere you find in, that means that is the embedded Copilot with capability which you have for that particular application. Now, today we are going to talk about the finance and operation, but there are a lot of co-pilots which are available. So you might have a co-pilot for sales, field service, and other CRC, customer engagement related apps which you have it. So there are a lot of co-pilots which are available, and everywhere you will find that anything which is co-pilot in that particular application is the inbuilt functionality and the offering which we have for have from Microsoft. Now, let's talk about the Copilot in D365 first, and then I will be talking about bit about these other capabilities which we have mentioned here. Now, in D365, there are three broad categories for the Copilot which we have it. One is the sidecar. Sidecar is nothing but it's like a chat GPT within the finance and operations, which enables you to ask certain questions in your natural language, and it is going to look for the official documentation and official repository which we have like Microsoft Learn and the Microsoft documentation, and it will give you the content back as an answer for you. So if you ask that, okay, how to create a purchase order in D360 finance and operations, or how to create a journal entry, it is going to look for that particular relevant content for you on the official Microsoft document portal, and then provide you the links and also the context about that particular question. So it is like a chat GPT within this. Now, having said that, that is the standard capability which you have it out of the box. But if you require, you can extend this particular capability using the Copilot Studio, where you can extend this and you can even add the repository from your end, and you can train the AI model specific to your needs if you want to call out some other content which you have it specific for the customer or the business or any industry. So that's one capability which we have within the finance and operation from the Copilot. The second type of capability is the embedded Copilot. Now, when we talk about embedded Copilot, that means the Copilot capabilities which are embedded within the finance and operations, different features and the modules which we have it. Now, we know that finance and operations has two major applications. One is the supply chain, another one is the finance. Now, there are two key features which are available as of now. One within the supply chain area, and another one is in the finance area. In the supply chain area, one of the embedded feature from the Copilot is confirmed purchase order changes workspace. Now, this workspace helps you to know the impact of if you are making any change in your purchase order and you are doing the reconfirmation and so on. So it helps you to understand that, and Copilot helps you to analyze those changes. Apart from that, in the finance, you have a collection coordinator summary workspace, which we are going to talk about today, that how it works and how it is going to help. Now, apart from that, there are more features which are planned by the Microsoft. There was a tech talk last week where the Copilot summary related, there are multiple features which are coming, the similar summary features like on a purchase order, on sales order, on customer, etc. And it is possibly be available in July 2024. Apart from that, there are some other Copilot related features which we have within the finance and operations, like demand planning, the warehouse app where we have the Copilot capabilities. All these features you can categorize into the embedded features within the finance and operations. Now, the next category of the Copilot offering within the finance and operation is the outside, you can call it, it's an outside Copilot. Now what it does that this particular using this particular category or the feature, you can call the Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO data sets through the other external applications. For example, Teams. Now let's say I'm a manager in an organization who is looking after the inventory and the stock overview, and I do not want to log into the application finance and operation, but I want to understand that across different sites and warehouse for any specific product, what is the inventory available. So that is that kind of features or the capabilities are called as the outside Copilot capabilities, where you can connect your other application, the outside application, with your finance and operation data, and then you can make such queries, and then that particular Copilot can help you to retrieve the information which you are asking. So that is the third category which we have for the Copilot in D365 Finance and Operations. So this is about what is available within finance and operations from the Copilot perspective. Now there are going to be many features in upcoming months which Microsoft is going to release, but any feature which will be released will mostly going to be fall under any of these three categories. Okay. Now, let's move to the second one, which we have financial insights. Now, financial insight is not Copilot, but it is a AI feature with the offerings which we have within the finance and operations. Right now, there are three capabilities which Microsoft has released under this particular category. One is the customer payment prediction, intelligent cash flow forecast, intelligent budget proposal scenarios. Now, all these capabilities are based on your AI builder, the AI model, which Microsoft offers, which helps you to, like, if you talk about customer payment prediction, it helps you to generate the prediction for any customer for any particular transaction, that how likely you are going to get the payment from this particular customer on time, or it is going to be late based on the historical data which you have in the system. Similarly, the cash flow forecast statement, where you can do the cash flow forecast by adding the external data and also doing some what if analysis, the AI predictive analysis to predict your cash inflow and cash outflow. And the similar capabilities are available for your budget proposal scenarios as well. So these are not Copilot, but these are your AI features which you have within the applications. Now, the third category which I have added here is the Copilot for Finance. Now, this is not part of D365 Finance and Operation, but I thought it's worth talking about this particular feature, because this is also integrated with your finance and operations, and it can help you to solve many use cases for the customers. Now, this has two key features as of now. The two key add-ins which are available. One is Copilot for Excel and one is Copilot for Outlook. Now, the Copilot for Excel helps you to analyze the data or reconcile the data, uh, and that data can be from your D365 Finance and Operation or any external data. So it helps you to do the reconciliation, and also it is going to provide the comparative analysis in future. It is still in preview mode, but it is going, once it is available, it is going to provide you more capabilities and the features. The next one is the Copilot for Outlook, and I'm going to talk about this particular feature today as well, because I have prepared a use case which works hand in hand with your collection coordinator summary of Copilot in D365 and the Copilot for Outlook. So I'm going to talk about this particular feature in today's demo. So this is about the overview. If you want to understand that what are the Copilot and AI capabilities which are available within the finance and operations. Now let's move and understand for this particular part, if I have to use a sidecar or embedded Copilot capabilities, what are the key configurations I need to do? So if we talk about the key configurations uh, which we have to do in D365, there are three different categories I would put it. One is within the finance and operations. What are the configurations which you need to do? So first thing is there are prerequisites that your all these capabilities are supported within the tier 2 box or the higher of Dynamics 365. You should have version 10.0.38 or the higher. From the version 10.0.40, if I remember correctly, these particular features are going to be enabled by default. And then you also need to make sure that your enable the SQL row version change tracking license key is enabled under the system admin. If it is not enabled, you can put your system in the maintenance mode and then enable this particular key. So that is about finance and operations, what you need to keep in mind. Now, the second thing is the PPA Power Platform Admin Center. Now, first thing is that you should have your LCS connected with your Power Platform Admin Center. Okay. And once that is enabled, you need to enable the app under the Power Platform, which is published to both with the AI features. Then you also, as I said, your connection with the Power Platform Center and the Dataverse should be enabled. And then you need to enable the required Copilot app, which you want to use it. So in the previous slide, we talked about Copilot for supply chain and finance. So all these applications under the Dynamics app you can enable. I'm going to show you this in the demo as well. The third thing which we need to keep in mind about the security. There are two key roles which we need to make sure that are enabled for any specific user who wants to use these features in the under the Power Platform admin. One is the finance and operations AI and then AIB role. So these are the roles which we need to assign for any user who wants to use these particular features. So this is about your key configurations and the prerequisites which you need to have for to use these particular capabilities within the finance and operations. Now, before I jump to the demo, let's understand a scenario for the collection coordinator workspace. So we are going to talk about the collection coordinator workspace summary workspace feature, which is Copilot enabled, and we are going to see that how it can work in a real time scenario. What can be the use case? So now let's understand. We have the collection agent and we have the customer. Now, as a collection agent, a user goes and look after the outstanding and the history of any users, the overdue invoices, the upcoming payments, and other things which, as a usual task, a collection agent needs to perform. Now, during that activity, collection agent finds that there is one customer for which there are outstanding invoices which are overdue, and the collection agent wants to follow up. Then the collection agent needs to create the collection activity, send a reminder email to the customer, and then customer, let's say, receives the email with the all your overdue invoices, and customer responds back to the collection agent with the promise to pay that, okay, receive the email, acknowledge that we are going to make the payment, but there are some queries or might be some dispute where customer might say that you have sent me 5 invoices, but will pay the payment. I will make the payment for 4 invoices, but I'm going to hold the payment for one invoice because I have a dispute. Now consider this particular situation and think about if you do not have any Copilot or AI or anything, a collection agent has to do lot of screen navigations, and it is going to take a lot of time for the collection agent to perform all these activities. And imagine if the collection agent is responsible for 20 customer or 30 or 50 customers and doing this activity for each of that customer, it is going to be a huge task, and it is going to be a very time consuming task to perform each and every activity which is listed here. But with the today's demo, we will talk about and see that how this particular use case can help this collection agent and in performing these activities more efficiently and saving a lot of time. So I'm going to I'm going to navigate to my Microsoft Dynamics application, and I'm going to talk about the different configurations, the prerequisites. I will touch upon that, and then I will straight away go to the demo of this particular use case, which I have just now explained. Now, the first thing which I said, that within the finance and operations, for your LCS, you need to make sure that you have the Power Platform admin connection and the data was is deployed. So if you log into your LCS, you need to make sure your Power Platform integration is enabled. That is the first thing you need to make sure. Once that is done, you will navigate to your Power Platform Admin Center, and under that, under the settings, you need to make sure that Publish Copilot AI feature at this particular is this particular feature is enabled. So once you have that now, next which you need to do is that under the Power Platform Admin Center, you will have the environment listed here, where you can see the environment which you have connected with your LCS. And once you log into that environment, navigate to that environment, you need to make sure that you install the required applications. So here, if you see, you have the resources where you have the Dynamics 365 apps. So once you navigate here, you can click on the install app, and you can choose the application like Dynamics 360 Copilot in Dynamics 365 Finance, Copilot in Dynamics 365 Supply Chain. Now, whichever the application you want to use, you can click on the install if that is not available here, and then you can install that particular application. The last thing which we need to keep in mind is about the security. And then here you can go to your security roles within the Power Platform admin center. And once you navigate to these roles, you will be able to select the role which is which you can assign to your user. And the two relevant roles which are available for you is the finance and AIB role, which you have it here, and also the finance and operations AI role in alphabetical order, and which is available here, finance and operation AI roles. So once you have your Power Platform connected with your LCS, you have your application installed. The next thing which you can do, you can go within Dynamics 365, and you can go to the feature management in the application, and then you can enable the Copilot capabilities within the finance and operations. So if I just click on the alls, and it is going to give me all the features which I have for uh, Dynamics 365, and I'm going to filter the feature with the Copilot. So I'm going to type Copilot here. And if you see, I have the feature which is the user experience for Copilot in finance and operations. So you will be able to enable this once you have all these prerequisites we have just spoken. Now, once that is done, what you will observe that before I jump to my actual use case, that you will have a Copilot option which is enabled here within your finance and operations. Now this is like a chat GPT, and this is one of the feature which I was talking, the sidecar. Here you can ask a question and then related to Dynamics FNO, and then it is going to look back to the Microsoft Learn portal and then provide you the answer based on the data and the information it receives from there. So that is the sidecar. But now we are going to talk about our use case. And our use case is the collection coordinator summary workspace. And look at that, how it is going to help us. So if you go to if you see on the workspace list, there is an application, the workspace which is available, collection coordinator summary. Now this also you need to enable from your feature management. You will find the collection coordinator summary workspace, and once you enable that feature, this particular workspace will be available for you. From version 10.0.40 onwards, this particular workspace or the feature will be enabled by default. Now, once you click on this particular workspace, now this workspace will be available with or without the Copilot as well. So half of the information or the key capabilities you can use without the Copilot as well. Now, if you look at this, this is my summary workspace where I have on the top, I have the customer account drop down, and then I have activities listing here. And these activities are nothing but my collection activities. On the bottom side, I have two grids available. One is talking about the highest balances, and one is talking about the aged balances. Now, in the aged balance, based on the customers, it is telling me the aging buckets which I have selected, that what are the different outstandings I have for each customer and in which aging bucket I have that particular outstanding. Then on the highest balances, you have the list of customers where it is showing the current balance, the current outstanding of that particular customer, the credit limit, and what is the credit limit available as of now. And if you are using the credit management feature in the credit and collection, then it is also going to show you the risk score of that particular customer. Now this gives me the fair understanding about all the customer. Now just imagine the use case which we have picked up, that as a collection agent, if I'm looking for one of the customer, let's say for this, I can quickly select this and I can get all the information from this single workspace. I can analyze that what's the balance which I have for this particular customer. I have the aging. If I have performed, I have created any appointment, task, or any email for this particular customer as a collection activity. I can see all those things available here. Now, for example, now I see that there is an outstanding for this particular customer, and I want to follow up with this particular customer. So how do I go in more detail? What you need to do is that simply click on this customer name, and it will take you to the detailed page of of this particular customer, where you can do more analysis about this particular customer. So once I reach here, the first thing which you need to notice here is that the Copilot capability which is available on this particular page. Now, what is the Copilot capability it is having? It is having the AI generated text for this particular customer, which is utilizing your customer information and the customer invoice information and the payment information, and analyzing that particular information from the data which is stored in the 365 and providing you the summary about that. So what it is saying, that this particular customer has a payment history of let's say no data available. There have been sent two invoices in the previous 6 months with an outstanding due of this amount, and this is what is overdue as of now. So it is providing all the information as a summary information for you. But to support that, as a collection agent, if you want to look for more details, you have the aged balances available here. You have the contact information available in the bottom. And moreover, you also have a customer timeline available on this workspace, which helps you to understand that what are the different types of recent activities which have happened on this particular customer. Now, these activities can be that you have sent a recently a collection letter, you might have received a payment, you might have raised an invoice, or anything. And if you want to filter by these activities, you have the activity type filter available here, and you can apply that filter here. Now, apart from that, you also have different options available. You can look at the different open transactions which are available here. And if you want to perform any collection activities, like you want to change a status of promise to pay, broken, or you want to write off or anything, you can do it directly from here without navigating anywhere else in the system. You can look at any disputed invoice, any invoice which is promised to pay, or any unsettled payments which you have for this particular customer. You can even update the aging from this particular screen. Now, just imagine the use case which we were talking about, that customer comes here, the collection agent comes here, and a collection agent has a quick overview about this particular customer and can make a decision that I need to follow up with this particular customer or send a reminder to this customer or not. Now, if you look at the open transactions, I have quite a few open invoices which are overdue here. And let's say I want to send the reminder to my customer. So how do I send that? How Copilot is going to help me? I can simply click on the create reminder email. It gives me the warning that do not use this content blindly. If you want, just review this before you send it to your customer. So let's say if I say yes here, it is going to draft me an email which is using this particular content, and it is also going to pick up the contact information if you have that information available on your customer master. So you can see that the Copilot has automatically drafted the email for this particular customer. Now the good part is not that it has created the email content. The good part is that it is utilizing the data which is available within the finance and operations, that how many invoice, what's the amount, and everything. It is analyzing that, and it is providing that information to send through the email. Now, for this particular demo purpose, what I have done, I have already sent one email as a collection agent. And just imagine that I have sent this email, the similar email, what the content it was there. But what I have also done is that I have extracted the list of invoices which are overdue and sent it across. Now, I've sent that information. If you remember our use case, we sent the information to our customer. Now, customer receives this email, and the customer responds back saying that sorry about that. So customer responds back to this particular email and says that thank you team for the reminder. We acknowledge that, and we will be making the payment on 14th of June for these invoices, but they have a concern on some of the invoices which are listed here. Now they want to call out that these two invoices are disputed as per them. So these invoices are disputed. Now, just imagine a situation that if these invoices are disputed, how collection agent is going to analyze these, and how the collection agent is going to reflect this information in FNO. Now, for that, I'm really sorry. I just need to take a water and then just take a pause here. Sorry about that. And the collection agent has to reflect these changes in finance and operations. Now, just imagine without Copilot, uh, as a collection agent, the user needs to go to FNO, look for these invoices, update the comment or the status and everything. But here you can use the Copilot for Finance Outlook capability, which will be available after you install the add-in here. And if you open that, this is how the side window which will be open here, and it will help you in multiple ways. Now, what it is doing, first thing, of course, it is connected with your finance and operations. You can specify the URL of your FNO where you want to connect this, and it is helping you in multiple ways. The first thing is it is summarizing your email and saying that what customer has acknowledged, right? So it is saying that the customer is planning to make a payment on 14th of June, which is a good thing because that's why we sent the reminder. But they have a concern on these two invoices that the service is not received and they want to put them in a disputed mode. So now the third one is that the message suggests the potential issues verifying and authenticating the services which customer has raised. So this is helping you in understanding the email in a better way by summarizing this. Now, the second thing which is it is also helping that it has come from a email address which is mapped on my customer master, and it is extracting the list of customers from my FNO, and in the FNO that customer might be available in multiple legal entities. So it is extracting the customer list from all the legal entities so that collection agent can pick up the customer from a right legal entity. So let's say if we have sent this for USMF, I can select quickly the USMF customer from here. Now, the moment I select it here, and just imagine all these things are happening without going into the finance and operations, right? Now, once I click on this, it is giving me the information about this particular customer, what is the customer name, address, and other things. But the good part here is that the aging history or the aged balances, which I was looking into the finance and operation, is available within the Outlook. So that's the power of the Copilot for Finance with the integration with your finance and operation it is bringing here. So that it is able to fetch your aged balances directly here. Not only it is fetching the information about your aged balance, but also it is fetching the information about your outstanding invoices which are available for your for this particular customers, so that you can look for these invoices, you can analyze these invoices. Apart from this is also telling you the related activities which you have done with this particular customer recently. So for a collection agent, it is a very efficient tool where each and every information required for performing any collection activity is available here. Now, you might say that, what about this is the information available for me, it's good, but what action I can take on this? Now, you can take multiple actions on this. Now, for example, customer has disputed these two invoices but agree to pay other. So let's say customer is agree to pay this invoice, so I can update the status of this invoice that promised to pay, and I can select the 14th of June as the promise to pay. But for other two invoices which I have in the queue, right? Let's say the invoice number 9, the customer said that it is a disputed invoice. So I can update this invoice here as disputed, and I can put today's date and say that this invoice is disputed, right? So I can do this. So once this is done, if I go back to my application in D365, and if I look at my dispute, the collection coordinator summary workspace, and if I just refresh this, I can see the action which I have taken from the Outlook is immediately available on this particular workspace, and there should be a one invoice for the promise to pay. So the Copilot is making the process very efficient, and you can take the timely actions without investing a lot of time, right? Now, if I go back to this email again, which has been analyzed using the Copilot for Finance, what more I can do with this? I can even reply to this email and ask the Copilot for Finance for summarizing this and write an email for me, which I can send it to my customer. I can even add the contact. Let's say this particular, I want to add a new contact. If this was not available within my customer database in finance and operations, then I can even a contact directly from this Outlook, Copilot for Finance Outlook, and which will be added to my D65 customer record. So that is how, and that is how it is so powerful from the collection agent perspective and the persona perspective, that Copilot is helping in summarizing the data which is available, helping in generating the email, and also the other applications, the other offerings which we have from the Copilot family, like a Copilot for Finance for the Outlook, is helping me in making that process more efficient. And it is able to help me in taking the, not only providing the information, but also to take the actions on top of the information which is available for me to review. And that's how this particular collection coordinator summary workspace is going to help all our users, or the collection agents who are going to utilize this particular feature, and they are going to provide the more efficient way for them, and it is a very time saving thing for any business or any customer. So that's it about this particular demo, and here I open the forum for the Q&A. If you have any questions, please feel free to put in the chat. I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, Saurabh. There's no question in the chat, but obviously a compliment saying the demo was great.
Shall we wait for a couple of minutes, Rev?
Yeah, maybe we just wait for like a couple of seconds if anyone wants to put questions.
Sure.
I guess no questions, but some great compliments. So I'd say thank you very much, Saurabh, for your time and an amazing session.
Thank you, Rev, for having me here.
And yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And we'll see you for the next, any next live video. Thank you.